Hi, everyone, and welcome to the June 2023 Farmbrite product update. I'm Chris, and I'm part of the customer success team here at Farmbrite. In this quick video, we're going to outline some of the features and enhancements we've released over the past month. Now, you can think of this as a high level overview. We still encourage you to browse through our help articles to learn more in depth information about these new features and to get step by step configuration instructions. We have 5 main features we're going to take a look at in this video. First, we're going to look at enhancements that we've made to the market. These allow for automatic tax calculations and the use of promotional discount codes. We'll then take a look at improvements that we've made to the inventory system, where you can use your inventory when entering livestock and crop treatments, as well as a few new inventory reports we've created. And speaking of reports, we'll also take a look at custom report enhancements and show you how to build a custom report using our new reporting tool. We'll also see how our new calendar sync works, which allows you to integrate your Farmbrite calendar with your Outlook, Gmail, or Apple iCal. And finally, we'll have some fun with a new feature to geolocate tasks, which allows you to drop a pin in the exact location that a task needs to be completed. All right, let's get started. The first thing we'll take a look at are those market enhancements. I'll navigate to Market and then choose Online Store. And we're going to see 2 new checkboxes here. One for auto calculate taxes and another for offer promotional codes. Now, of course, to enable these in Farmbrite, you just have to check the boxes and then click Save. However, there is additional work that you need to do in your Stripe account to set these up. If we navigate to Help, I want to point you to 2 articles in the product section of the market category, one for adding taxes and another one for enabling online discount codes. Both of these are going to walk you through how you set these up, and they'll also have links to the Stripe documentation to configure it on that side as well. So make sure you check those out. Now I want to show you what this looks like from your customer point of view in the online checkout. We've already ordered everything in the online store, and now we're paying through Stripe. You can see I'm buying some hot sauce. With this enabled, your customers will now have the option to add a promo code. I'm going to type in thanks25, and that's going to get us 25% off. You customize those promo codes to be whatever you want, whatever percentage and whatever code needs to be typed in. And then we'll take a look at the taxes. Over on the right, I'll put in an address. And you'll see that the taxes were automatically calculated based on the billing address of your customer. And if you're wondering how it knows what to charge, we'll go back to Farmbrite for a second, navigate to Products, take a look at that hot sauce, and see that we have 2 new fields here for tax behavior, whether the price includes tax, and tax category, so that Stripe will know what type of product this is and apply taxes appropriately. And one more update to the market. If we go over to orders, notice that we have 4 orders that came in today that are all currently in packing status. Previously, you would have had to open each one individually and set it to complete, but we now have the ability to multi-select, choose bulk actions, and mark multiple orders as complete at once. So save you a little time after you got them shipped out the door. The next new features that I want to show you are all enhancements to our inventory section. You'll find inventory under Resources. Recall that this is where you can track all of the inputs and outputs that keep your farm operation running. This could be anything from your feed and fertilizer to the products that you sell in your store. Beyond that, though, you might even track the motor oil that you use in your farm pickup truck, or maybe the sprinkler drip hose that you lay in your fields. The main point of this is for you to know how much you have of each one of these things. You want to keep track of this inventory. In this latest update, you'll be able to automatically subtract from this inventory when you add livestock or crop treatments or an equipment service record. Let's take a look at an example with our Grow Big fertilizer here. We currently have 5.5 gallons on hand. Let's go to plantings and give some of that to our carrots to get them started. We'll choose treatments, add a new treatment record, select our treatment type, and see a new drop-down menu to subtract from inventory. This is where we can pick our fertilizer, put in that we used a half gallon. Now, of course, you could fill out all the rest of the information here, but for the sake of time in this video, I'll just save. We'll go back to Resources, Inventory, and now see that we have 5 gallons. This will help you keep track of exactly what you have without having to go in and manually remove the inventory. And as long as we're talking about keeping track of what you have, let's take a look at two new reports that we created as well. We're under standard reports and resources, and we now have inventory summary by location and inventory summary by type. As the names imply, both of them are summaries of your inventory. They're just categorized in different ways. The inventory summary by location is going to group all of your inventory based on where it's stored. We can see what's in our barn shelves, bin section A, that's where we're keeping those vaccines. Or maybe we could look at our east side shed and see that we have our cattle feed there, 1,200 pounds of it, as well as the different fertilizers that we'll use in our fields. So this is really showing me all the locations, my warehouses and bins, and then what's in them. If I go back to reports, we'll take a look at by type. Now I'm looking at all the individual inventory items that I have and the different places that they're stored. Broccoli's a great example here. I have broccoli on the barn shelves, the north barn storage room, and the product warehouse. I can see I have a total of 453 pounds available spread out over those different locations. That way I know that if I run out of it when I'm picking it from the barn shelves, that I could always go to the north barn storage room and I have some extra backup there. And while we're under this reports tab, let's take a look at the new custom report process as well. When I select custom reports, I'll see a list of any that I've created previously. I can easily run them with just one click. I'll click to create a new custom report. If you've ever built a custom report before, we think you'll find the process improved. And if you haven't, we encourage you to take a look through this. This is a really powerful tool that allows you to choose exactly what you want to see on a report and how it should be displayed. What we've done here is made it more intuitive to use. It now includes a 4-step wizard to walk you through the process of building the report. And this is step 1. We're going to give the report a name. We're going to make a quick report on some of our equipment with its last service date. You'll see the different report areas down here to choose from. We're going to pick equipment, but you can create reports for your accounting transactions, crops, livestock, store orders, tasks, even the inventory we were just looking at. After we made the equipment selection, you'll see 3 more tabs show up at the top. These are the sequential steps in designing your report. We'll go to columns, and this is where we can choose what fields show up on the report and what order they're displayed in. You can kind of think of this as similar to building a spreadsheet. In this box, we're just adding the different fields to add to those columns. So we might add equipment name, maybe its status, we'll add its brand. And you can also search in the box. If I start typing in service, we'll find equipment last service date, we'll add that one. And maybe we'll add equipment type as well. Now, if we want to put these in a different order, order the columns differently, we can just drag and drop them. Maybe type goes after name here. Again, if you think of this like a spreadsheet, we're talking about column A, column B, column C, and so on. If you just want to see everything, you can add all. And if you added too much, you can clear them over here as well, or remove them individually. Now, if you just want to run the report, you can click save and it will run. But you do have options for additional steps here. We can filter the report. Maybe we want to limit what equipment is on here to a certain brand, a specific status, maybe a specific type. You have all different types of filters that you can use to get just the records that you're looking for. And then you also have preferences here. This lets you choose the order of the rows on the spreadsheet. Maybe it makes sense to order them by type. You can even add charts onto the report. Let's add a chart for status so we can get a visual representation of the current status of our equipment. We're going to save, and the report runs. There's our chart at the top. We can see that most of our equipment is in use, but some of it is in for maintenance, and we even have one that's decommissioned. As we scroll through, we see that it's ordered by type with our tools, our tractor, and then our vehicles. If you wanted to download this data into a spreadsheet, you can click download, and you can also make changes by clicking edit report. Maybe we want to filter this a bit more, maybe only see those vehicles. We can say the type contains vehicle, save, and now we've limited our results. If we go back one more time, just to show you some of the other options, if we remove this, we'll go back to report preferences. Maybe this time we'll group by. Now, instead of filtering to remove the tractor and the tools, maybe I still want to see them on the report. I just want them in a different category. We can group by equipment type, save again, and now we have a section for our tools with the chainsaw and snowblower. We have a section for our tractor, and then a section for all of those vehicles. Now there's a lot you can do with this. All different types of business operations use Farmbrite. We want to make sure that you can get the data that you need and how you want to see it. We're also really interested in how you might use this. If you build something cool and unique that you want to share with us, just reach out and let us know. We'll take a look through it, and maybe we'll turn it into a standard report that everyone can use. Moving on to our next new feature, we'll look at the schedule. Now we know that you're going to track a lot of things in Farmbrite. You can see here that we have tasks and reminders to plant some different crops. If I move on to next week, we're prepping CSA shares, we're watering fields, we're moving the cattle herd, the vet's coming for a visit. We know that you'll find this calendar useful, but we also know that you're probably going to still use your Apple iCal or your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, and that you might want to sync these events from Farmbrite into those calendars. That way you can track everything in one place. So we've made that easy to do. You can just navigate to the Actions menu here, and you have a choice here to publish calendar or download calendar. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do this sync. I'm going to show you publish calendar first. When I choose that, it brings me to the settings page, and there's a choice down here to publish calendar feed. You can check that, and then it gives you this link. You can copy the link, and then we'll go over to my calendar. I'm going to use the Google Calendar as an example here. Your iCal or Outlook calendar experience might look a little bit different, but overall the concept is the same. I'm going to go to add this calendar by hitting the plus sign and say from URL. We'll just paste that URL in there, add the calendar, and go back. And there's all my appointments. We'll go to next week. We'll see more of them as well. So that's how you can do it with a URL. And that will stay synced as I add new tasks and events. If I just want to add all the current tasks though, we'll go back to Farmbrite, go back to schedule. And this time I can choose to download calendar. You'll see it gave me this ICS file in the bottom left here. Going back to Google Calendar, I can then hit the plus sign and say import. Go to my downloads and find that file and import it. And the events that were in Farmbrite are now imported to my calendar. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do that, if you want it to be continuous or a one-time download. Either way, you'll find all of those events in one place now, helping you stay on top of things and making sure you don't miss anything. The last new feature that we'll take a look at is your ability to geolocate a task. This uses your device's GPS location to pinpoint exactly where work needs to be done. We'll add task and create a new one to mend the north fence. We'll click Add Map Location and see that the map is defaulted to our location. You might need to allow your browser or device to use your GPS location, but after that's authorized, you'll find that the pin defaults to exactly where you're located. This allows us to be very precise for where this task should be completed. We'll find our north fence, zoom in more, and place the pin exactly where it needs to be repaired. If you were on your mobile device, walking your property, and created the task from the Farmbrite app, it would drop the pin exactly where you're standing. Of course, you could always move it around a little bit as well. We're going to put this on our to-do list, and then assign it to Dennis, and save. When we go back to our task list and click on it, we'll see that the pin is saved so that Dennis knows exactly where to make the repair. All right, and that's going to take us through the new features that we wanted to cover. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about these new features.